Hello DIY, it's been quite a while since my last update on the film room, and I'm really sorry about that because a lot has actually happened since the last update for you guys. It's just been so incredibly busy here at the office that honestly, I'm getting bits and pieces of this thing set together with the help of Jackson as well when we have a spare minute or two of our day. So there really hasn't been much of a time to sit down and just kind of go through everything we've done so far for this whole film room update here. So essentially for the time being, until we get new shelving for these larger pieces, we've just went ahead and put all those kind of video set big PC items on the desk here for now. We finally also set up the 4x4 pegboard. We just kind of had a little bracket on the back of it and then just had screws going in all the way around it. And then for the cables and the drawers, I'm kind of starting to knock out some of these cables right here with getting them all organized and stuff. Again, a lot of those cables are going to be going to the pegboard with some hooks and things like that, some organization pieces. So those will probably be done in this video. And then for what's under here, these are the two Adeptus solid wood drawers that I built about a week and a half ago. And if you want to see the video, if you haven't already, about these drawers, definitely take a look at that video because I did the full build process and how much of a almost nightmare that it was to set everything up together. So I've already started kind of setting those up with their respective items in each drawer. I think I'm gonna do a little more organization there today and try and get most of these drawers all organized. So aside from that, that's kind of the main update for you all. I'm going to take you over to the other room as well to show you what I did with all the GPU boxes, because from the last video, they were actually all here, but now they're gone. So if you all remember last video, I mentioned that I wanted to keep the GPU boxes inside the film room, but as we were setting everything up and the amount of stuff that was in there, I was quickly realizing that that's probably not going to be realistic if we want to make sure we maximize all the space in that room. So for the time being, or maybe more permanently, I decided to set this thing up right here. I just took a, standard 4-tier shelf, and I actually broke down the shelf and kind of set up the GPUs right here. So I have a lot of extra space out here. So I decided, now's the time to go ahead and fill it up at least a little more. These are where our boxes are going to be, and these are helpful for us to at least keep on hand. So whenever we do GPU roundup videos or anything like that where we might need another box or two, these are good to have on hand. And honestly, who wants to throw away their GPU box nowadays? So that's all that out here. And yeah, the film room's coming along a lot. Obviously, we still have a bit of work to do on the right side here, but I think our main goal was to start cracking down on this area right here. And I think we are getting there for sure. Not too sure when we're gonna get new shelving, but hey, it's already looking miles ahead, better than what it used to be. Let's go ahead and get cracking on those cables and see where we end up at in a couple hours or so. Alright guys, another update for you all. So the last clip you all just saw was me basically tying up almost all these big cables here and kind of getting them ready to organize onto the pegboard. And these are the unis, which are basically some really heavy duty cable storage straps. And I think that there's 10 of these maybe. So anyways, yeah, there's 10 of those. We'll be using those for the big cables, these really big ones that aren't gonna be able to have a home inside the drawers here. But basically what I also did for organization setup for these drawers right here, we've got Post-it notes, Sharpies, let's see, microfiber zip ties, cleaning supplies, and some epoxy sealant stuff, which we don't really use much at all. And this is the drawer that is kind of in bad shape. So we're gonna refrain from opening that as much as possible so it doesn't break again. But like I mentioned in that dresser setup video, the size of this drawer actually broke. And unfortunately, we were able to epoxy it back together, but these sliders rely on the smooth texture from the drawer, and now that there's that epoxy there, it's kind of stiff and it doesn't want to close all the way sometimes. So that kind of sucks there, but aside from that, not the biggest deal. We got keyboards, mice, controllers, recording stuff, and then this drawer right here has all of our pegboard organizer kit stuff and a couple extra long hooks for some more cables as well. So that's gonna be what we're setting up today and getting all set up then. And the last video we'll be doing for this whole series is when we get these new storage units in. So that's the biggest thing that's gonna fully end up transforming the setup so we don't have to have any more boxes on the ground. But overall, this has done wonders for this whole setup back here in terms of cleaning up the actual look of it. And I'm excited to get these container bins out of the way and all organized. All right guys, after a long excruciating time of working on everything behind me, we finally have the pegboard basically where it's going to be set up for, you know, the near future. We have all of our cables over here. We ran out of uni cable ties, which I expected we were going to do, so I kept those on the bottom, but everything else has just been zip tied for the time being and just kind of in a temporary spot. These cables are what we use a lot here when it comes to benchmarking, testing, setting up individual PC gaming setups. So we wanted to keep these kind of out, so that's exactly what I did. And then obviously, if you look over here, there's no more cables here anymore, which is amazing. The only other spot with cables is these two spots right here, the misc cable spots. These are just areas where, you know, cables that we don't really use much and cables that aren't really worth designating a whole like area for. So that's where those are. And then I finished up a couple more areas called power supply cables. Obviously we've seen these before, and I basically just finished that off and everything. So before I forget to mention it, this is the exact pegboard organizer kit that we used to actually set up the pegboard. I don't know if I told you guys in the last couple clips, but essentially Jackson and I just went to Lowe's and we got like a 4x8 pegboard. It's huge. We literally just cut it in half. So the top of there is actually cut, and this kind of 4x4 area just kind of fit nicely into this spot right here. We left some area in between the desk and here, so in the event where we need to put any PCs or something, some larger items like that, there's some area there so we can cover that. It does kind of eliminate the usefulness of the area up top here, but this pegboard organizer kit only costs like 15, 20 bucks. At Lowe's as well, we just bought these longer rods to fit longer, you know, areas of cable, since, you know, those are our primary areas of use. A lot of them are gonna be like this size right here, so really not enough for us to stack up a ton of cables on them, so that's why I bought those. But to go over the rest of the area up here, we have the AMD Starfield bundle box that we kept. I think it's a really cool little piece, and we're using those shelf hooks on the same kit that we used for the organizer kit. Got some really cool old graphics cards, a GTX 580, and I think some kind of really, really old GPU. I don't even know what it is, but it looks really cool. Got that from a video, and we just kind of hung it up there since I don't even think it works anymore, but got a couple screwdriver kits. Again, all this stuff's in that kit, and then we got some, I don't know, we'll probably find something else to put in these things, but these are just buttons that we use for videos sometimes. And then we have the Red Dragon speaker headphones that we custom made. So that's pretty much everything that is on this pegboard area up here. When we get a couple more things and we want to fill up some more of that space up there, we'll end up doing so, but for now, this is what it's going to be like. Aside from what I gave you all last time as far as an update goes, this area is pretty much cleaned up, which is amazing. We still have this little mess over here on the bottom right, but when we get those new shelves in and everything, this is going to improve drastically and it's going to look way, way better. So, I mean, overall, that's going to wrap up this whole series. I think what I'm going to do is maybe one DIY video down the road, I'm going to give you guys a small update. For the very few people that actually watch this video, I'll give you guys an update on what the shelves look like when they're all said and done here. But thanks for tagging along through this whole journey here. It's taken a lot of weeks to get this done, but I think it's definitely worth the time investment and even the financial investment, because now it's going to be way easier to organize these cables. It's also going to eliminate the situation where we're ordering more and more cables and adapters and things like that we don't need because we already have them, we just can't find them. So thanks for watching to the end if you all did, and let me know in the comments down below if you have any ideas or recommendations for exact shelving units for this area here. Kind of wanted to get them about 60 inches wide and about 72 inches tall, kind of where they are now, but they do have to be adjustable in these layers right here. But aside from that, thanks again for watching to the end if you all did, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.